Krillin's in the house!
What's going on YouTube? SSJ Quinny here, and I've been noticing a lot lately, and I've noticed a lot over the years, that Krillin has been getting a lot of hate. You know, it's just the main thing to, hate on Krillin, but honestly, he's quite the tank. So I decided to make a video on the evolution of Krillin. It's going to go over Krillin from the beginning of Dragon Ball, all the way to the end of Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, and Dragon Ball GT. In this video, with each part of Krillin that I show, I'm going to show a power level, I'm going to show an age, and I'll mention any new attacks that he gets, and I'll mention if he dies or not at this time as well, and I'm going to show you guys as well that Krillin is actually a lot more tank than what you guys think by showing a couple examples here. So let's get started.
So, starting off, we have Krillin before Master Roshi's training. He is 12 years old because he states that he's 13 in the World Tournament Saga, and his power level is 8. Now, you're going to be saying, hey, 8, that's extremely low, considering that the Farmer with Shotgun had a power level of 5. You know what? Yes, that seems very low, but Goku at the beginning of Dragon Ball has an official power level of 10. Some people say 50, but it is officially 10. I know it does seem a little bit low, again, because the average human has a power level of 5, but as Vegeta said, power levels are bullshit! But basically, if you put Goku at around 50 at the beginning, and Krillin at around, let's say, 40 at the beginning, like some people think, which makes a little bit more sense, then they don't really have a lot of room to grow throughout Dragon Ball, and they get much, much stronger. So it does make a little bit more sense to put him around 10 or, Krillin at 8. Now, we don't know much about Krillin's history, but we do know this. He was trained at Orin Temple, a temple which train a bunch of monks and they make you shave your head and all that stuff. Now, judging by the way he acts around all the monks that he meets at the World Tournament that are a lot bigger than him and they seem to bully him, he was actually one of the weakest ones. That being said, he is still on a superhuman level, being able to jump over 60 feet into the air to jump off a boat to get onto Master Roshi's island. So a lot of people think the reason why Goku's stronger as a kid than Krillin at this time before Roshi's training is because he's a Saiyan, and that is true, but it's also because Goku also had the second strongest person on the earth at the time to train with, while, Krillin only had the people from Orin Temple. Krillin was also a very sneaky kid. He tried to cheat going through some of Master Roshi's challenges, which obviously didn't work, and he also was not pure enough to sit on the Nimbus Cloud. And again, even though he, tried to cheat sometimes, he was still always one step behind Goku. Not too far behind, but again, Goku has the advantage because he's a Saiyan and was also trained by Grandpa Gohan prior to Master Roshi's training. And the way I got Krillin's power level of 8 was, again, because he's weaker than Goku, but not that much. Goku is officially at a 10, so I'm going to go ahead and put him in at 8 or an 8.5. Next, we have Krillin after Master Roshi's training, age 13. As you can see here, he states that he's 13 years old, which is how I got 12 earlier for the beginning of the video, and I got his power level at around 46. Now, even though Krillin slacked, and, well, he didn't really slack, but he cheated a little bit at the beginning of Master Roshi's training, he really did stick through with it just like Goku did, and he got a lot stronger. And proof that he's still a little bit weaker than Goku, Master Roshi told him they had to move this giant rock. Goku could move it, but as you can see here, Krillin says, I can move it too, but not as far. And more proof that he got a lot stronger is here. These bullies he was scared of when he first met him at the tournament because he didn't realize that he got so much stronger. And I also have more proof here. I wasn't going to include this in my video, but I thought it was really important just to show how strong Krillin was. So in the manga, when he fights Jackie Chun, something happens and the audience can't see it. So they rehearse it and show everybody exactly what happened, and here's what it was. So they charged at each other. Jackie Chun threw a kick. Krillin dodged it. Threw a punch. Jackie Chun spit on Krillin's fist. And then Jackie Chun went for a jab, but Krillin snorted boogers on him with his imaginary nose, and then they stopped and thought to do something else. So, as they were pondering, everything up to this only took about 0.2 seconds, they decided to play a rock, paper, scissors. Krillin lost, and then Jackie Chun told him to look in a direction to distract him, but Krillin got mad and didn't want to, so he looked the other way, which still left him wide open. Jackie Chun jumped into the air, booted Krillin right in the back of the head, and he landed. Krillin flipped through the air and landed on his face because he was hurt, and that only happened in a fraction of a second. I just wanted to tell you guys that to show you how fast Krillin is at this point in time. Moving on.
This is just a small part I wanted to add. Krillin lived with Master Roshi for a little while, not too long at all after the tournament, and then they wanted to find the last Dragon Ball, so they went to Fortune Teller Baba, and Krillin fought against this vampire fella, and he lost quite easily. Now, I do believe he just got caught off guard and got bit in the head and just lost due to lack of blood. As you can see here, his blood was good and he was controlling it, and then Goku says, Krillin, looks like you grew hair, and then it started like squirting out and bleeding because he was so angry. This is more of a comedy fight, but I do believe Krillin really could have won this fight if he was more concentrated and didn't get caught off guard. His power level increased very slightly from the tournament, not official, but just my opinion. Moving on. Next, we have Krillin in the World Tournament with TN. He is now 16 because it was a 3-year time skip. He has gotten quite a bit taller, even though he's still very short and shorter than Goku, who's also still short. His estimated power level, I'd say, is around 100. For these 3 years, he's just been training with Master Roshi, with Yamcha. It seems like his power level didn't go up very much, but remember, it's really hard to judge these things, and due to his power level at the end, I can't give him much more than this. It was at this time where he fought Goku, and honestly, he did a pretty good job. Now, he got a lot of good hits on Goku, but we need to remember that Goku wasn't using his full power. But for him being a human, I thought he kept up very, very, very well. Also, he fought and beat Chotsu at this time, and he had to use smarts to beat him, and I honestly feel like if Goku went up against Chotsu, he would have lost. Why? Because Chotsu had psychic powers, and I actually believe that these psychic powers would have been enough to subdue Goku at the time, because the psychic powers really, really hurt Goku when he was fighting Tien, when Chotsu cheated and used him on him, but Krillin has the smarts to actually beat Chotsu. I don't think Goku does. Now, is he stronger? Is Goku stronger than Chotsu? Absolutely, but you know, smarts is important too. During his 3-year training period, he learned how to do the Kamehameha, though it is stated that it is not as strong as it could be due to him not being super good at it yet. It was also around this time where Krillin died for the first time. He was killed by one of Piccolo's children, Tambourine. Next, we have Krillin in the Piccolo Jr. saga. He aged 3 years because there was a 3-year time skip, so he's now 19, and he also trained with Kurinin, and his power level went up to 204. This is not an official power level, but it's very close to one, and you'll see where I got this power level once we start into Dragon Ball Z here later. He's full grown now, and he has a new move called I just call it the double ki blast. It doesn't have an official name. It's just 2 ki blasts that he fires from each hand that's orange, and he can control the direction that it goes in. His Kamehameha is bigger and stronger now, and he still does not have a Destructo Disc. Here's some proof that he trained with Kurinin. And even though the power gap between Goku and Krillin widened quite a bit during the 3-year time skip, he really shows that he's a good fighter. He fought against Piccolo and actually put up a pretty good fight, and he even got up after Piccolo slammed him into the ground from hundreds of feet into the air. And this surprises the hell out of Piccolo, and he even says that he doesn't think that he's going to be able to conquer the world so easy after he sees how strong just Krillin is. So yeah, he's still very, very strong at this time. He was also the 3rd person to ever fly, the first being Tien and Chotsu, before it was actually a thing. He even flew before Goku did. Unless Goku did while he was training with Kami. Next, we have Krillin at the beginning of Dragon Ball Z. His power level is 206, and this is an official power level. I will show you a picture of that in a minute. And his age is 25, because, Gohan's 4.5, and, you also gotta be preggers for 9 months before you have a baby. So, we can say that the Dragon Ball Z timeline was about, a 5-year difference between the ending of Dragon Ball there. So, 25 is how old Krillin is here. Bulma modifies the Scouter and scans Krillin with it, and we get a power level of 206, so it's official. We can assume Krillin didn't train very much over the time skip, and that's why his power level only went up by, just a few single digits, and he doesn't have any new attacks that we know of. Next, we have Krillin after training with Kami and also by himself, which totaled up for a whole year of training. He's now 26 and has a power level of 1770. He can do the move we all know and love as the Kienzan, or also the Destructo Disc in English dub. He has that move where he fires an energy wave into the sky, and then it drops down a bunch of energy waves, which were all strong enough to kill Cybermen, which are equally as strong as Raditz, which is very impressive. Now, just for a split second, I'm going to explain how this power boost really makes Krillin seem strong, and it sort of makes him seem like he's stronger than Goku, even though that never happens. By the way, check out those cool posters. So, Krillin trained with Kami for 3 years in Dragon Ball, right? When he was done, his power level was around 350-ish, right?
Krillin did that exact same training, though he did have Yamcha and Tien and Yajirobe and Chaozu all to train with, so sure, that helps a little bit, but he did the exact same training in a year, and at the end, his power level was 1770. That is many times stronger than Goku got training with Kami, so in my opinion, that is extremely impressive. Sure, after Goku trained with King Guy, his power level was much higher than Krillin's, at this point. Krillin was a bug compared to him at this point, but if you can compare, Goku's training with Kami and then Krillin's training with Kami, Krillin's like power level boost was way, way more than Krillin, and that's why I think he deserves way more credit because his power boost was insane, and he's not a Saiyan. He's just a human. He doesn't get any Zenkai boost or anything. So, really, in my opinion, this power leap from 206 to 1770 really shows that Krillin's a beast.
Next, we have Krillin when he's on Namek, and when he's on Namek, he gets his potential unlocked by Elder Guru, and his power level goes from 1700 all the way to over 10,000. Who would have known that Krillin, had so much potential hidden? And in the Daisenshuu, am I even saying that right? I can't pronounce things. But in the Daisenshuu, when he was fighting Rikum, it was stated that his power level was to be 13,000, even though he got one kicked by Rikum. Next, with Krillin's unlocked potential, he gets another huge power boost. In a V-Jump book, it was said that Krillin's power level when he was fighting Frieza was 75,000. Now, I'll believe it, but this means two things. Number one, when you get your power unlocked by Guru, you don't just get it all in one burst, your potential slowly comes back to you. So that means Krillin had even more hidden power than we thought. That, or all the stress of Krillin getting beaten to near death by Raccoon and Frieza on Namek, him getting healed back up, it's almost like he got his own version of a Zenkai boost that the Saiyans get. I'm actually going to go ahead and say it's probably a little bit of both. I mean, all the stress that was put on Krillin's body, being brought to near death and then healed back again, I'm sure that gave him some sort of boost, but he's not a Saiyan, so that is not official, but that is just what I think, and it's never confirmed. But yes, between the Ginyu fight and the Frieza fight, Krillin's power jumped around 60,000. Isn't that crazy? Even though he's a lot weaker than Frieza, he was still able to catch Frieza off guard and cut off his tail with a Destructo Disc, or shall I say, a Kienzan. And he has a new move now called the Kienzan Barrage, or in video games, the Fierce Destructo Disc, which is when he throws a bunch of Kienzans at his opponent. And again, this is a very lethal move because it can basically cut through anything. And in the filler, he also throws a Kienzan that separates into a bunch of little small ones and attacks Frieza with it. But yeah, very strong dude. This is also Krillin's last official power level. And it was also around this time when he died. Next, we have Krillin after the 3-year android training time skip. He's now 29 because he aged 3 years, and his power level isn't my estimate, between 600,000 and 2 million. Now, I know there's a lot of Krillin haters out there who are going to disagree with that, and if you do, that is fine, but let me explain very quickly. On Namek, in about a couple of days, his power level went from 13,000 to 75,000. Actually, that might have just been less than a day. So with 3 years of training, I do not see why Krillin could get his power level up to 600,000 at least, and probably all the way up to 2 million. If I had to make an estimate, I'm going to say Krillin's power level is around 1 million here. Sorry about all the stuttering, geez. You know what, I'm going to keep it in. But yeah, definitely 1 million for Krillin here, in my opinion, possibly even more. Which really isn't a lot considering he's probably only as strong as second form Frieza at this time. He's nowhere near stronger than the androids, who are way, way, way over 100 million. Next, we have Krillin in the Buu saga. As for changes, he has a full head of hair now, and his power level is 600,000 to 10 million, and this is estimated. And he is now 36. Now, I know a lot of you guys are saying there's no way Krillin is 10 million, but if he was making gains like he did on planet Namek, then it's very well that he could be up to 10 million now, especially if he trained with 18. Now, during this time, I don't think that he trained really at all, so I believe he is down at around still 1 million at the same power level he was during the Android saga. But if he trained and he really kept at it with Android 18, I do believe he could be up to 10 million, but estimated, I'm going to go ahead and say a power level of 1 million. Again, I know a lot of people are going to think I'm crazy for saying that, but again, 10 million isn't very high when you compare it to the androids or even Frieza. It's probably a little stronger than third form Frieza. Well, quite a bit stronger than third form Frieza, but nowhere near final form Frieza. No new attacks for Frieza now, and he was killed again by Super Buu when Super Buu killed everyone on the lookout. And in the filler, he trained with Yamcha, which also made him look very, very strong while he was training with Yamcha, which could give him another power level boost, but again, this was only filler. And again, he has a kid named Marin, and yeah, he's married to Android 18 now. Next, we have Krillin at the beginning of Dragon Ball Super. No new attacks, though his hairstyle has changed, which I think looks a lot better than the old one. He's 37 now, and his power level is estimated between 100,000 and 10 million. Remember how I said the highest it could be earlier was 10 million? Well, that's why it's still 10 million now, because his power level might not have dropped. But Dragon Ball Super did show evidence that it could have actually dropped. So instead of the lowest being 600,000 now, I got the lowest at 100,000. I'm going to say he's probably around 1 million at this time. He hasn't been training at all. It's very hard to estimate the power. It could be higher or lower, so I do have a range in here. But yeah, nothing much changed. He's just a police officer, which I think it's really, really cool that they gave him that job. And he's basically just been living happily with Krillin and Android 18 and his daughter Marin. Next, we have Krillin from the Tournament of Power arc, and I just want to say that bringing back Bald Krillin was probably one of the best decisions that Dragon Ball Super ever did, and I'm just so happy that they did it. I just really like Bald Krillin. It was really cool to have him come back. As you can see this picture here, they went crazy on the art in one episode, so I just had to use this one. For his power level, I'm gonna have to go ahead and put it between 1 million and 10 million again. It could be higher. It's so hard to judge, so I'm sorry that the numbers aren't that accurate here, but that is just an estimated number. Krillin did very good for the Tournament of Power saga, and with the crazy Dragon Ball Super power scaling, his power level could be even higher. I don't even know anymore. Next, we have Krillin at the end of Dragon Ball Z. Not much to say here, except that his power level is estimated between 1 million and 100 million. That's due to the fact if he actually got up to 100 million while training in Dragon Ball Super, we have no idea. But yeah, he aged 10 years, that's basically the only difference, and he has hair again here. We don't know if we'll change this in Dragon Ball Super, but yeah, moving on. Next, we have Krillin in Dragon Ball GT here at the end. As you can see, he's 52. He's looking quite old, and it's a little depressing to see him so old, actually. But yeah, he died one time in Dragon Ball GT, killed by Android 17 as well. Moving on. Next, we have some fan forms here. This is Krillin in Dragon Ball New Age, and he actually has a new form. He makes up basically his own version of the Kaioken, which times your power times 50, so it's basically like Super Saiyan, and it's not as dangerous as well. In Dragon Ball New Age, Krillin died, and he was training with King Kai for a long time. In this form, he's able to fight on par with Super Saiyan Goten. A very, very cool add-on in my opinion. It was a really cool way to bring Krillin back. As of now, we haven't actually seen him fighting other than training with Krillin when he was dead, because Goten died as well in this series. And last but not least, we have Master Krillin from Dragon Ball Multiverse. In Dragon Ball Multiverse, long story short, there's an alternate universe where it appears that Goku never appeared on the planet Earth, or the humans just ended up killing Goku and ended up thriving on their own. In this universe, Krillin is the new turtle hermit, and he knows the Kaioken as well. We have no idea how he learned the Kaioken or the stories behind this universe, but also it's a really, really cool idea. And yeah, he's basically like a way powered up version of Master Roshi now, except he knows the Kaioken and everything. Really, really cool. And that is it for all the fan forms of Krillin and all the forms. Anyways, that's all I got for this video, guys. Thank you very, very much for watching. I was actually working on this video for a long time, but it was hard to find time to finish it because I've been working 60 hours a week. I've been getting an extra shift every single week, and it's a 12-hour shift, so that's all the way up to 60 hours. I usually work 4 12s. Anyways, I just want to thank you guys all very much for continuing to watch my stuff and for continuing to subscribe and just comment on my stuff. I really like having comments to read and to reply to, so yeah, thank you very much. Future plans for videos, I plan on making a 3,000 subscriber special where I'm going to pull out some mean comments and funny comments and read them off. And I'm also going to make more videos like this. And with the whole YouTube monetization thing, I'm going to do a video where I'm just going to talk about my thoughts on that. And I also want to do a video on Goku's new form, but I'm not sure if I'm going to have time to do that. But eventually I will be redoing a video like the one that made this channel famous. That's the one that's on all forms of Super Saiyan Explained. That one is going to be redone, so you guys can expect to see that eventually. I'm just waiting for Dragon Ball Super to end, which is going to end in about 2 episodes. And I'd like to do some more Attack on Titan reviews there too, and more other anime reviews there as well. But I will try to upload as much as I can. Again, thank you all for supporting me, and I just really appreciate it. And I hope this video helped you out and made you realize how much of a beast Krillin is. And if you liked it, please tell me what you liked. And if you did not like it, please, you can leave a dislike, go right ahead. But just tell me what you disliked if you can. I would really appreciate that as well. Alright guys, thank you very much. SSJ Quinny is out of here. Boop.